could this be the front door to your new home? Behind us we have this rather substantial, so I'm going to keep walking for a while until I can get everything in shot, this rather substantial property which is nestled into the Howgills. And as I pan around and show you a little further, you'll realise how beautiful the surroundings are that are around us. So as we pan around, you can see in pretty much every direction we have mountain views and such a private and beautiful location. So the property that we're here today to see is called Top Withens. As you can see behind, it is a fantastic sandstone built property, and we're quite elevated here, but not so far off the beaten track that you're in the absolute middle of nowhere. We're about 15 minutes away from the M6. In front of me, which you can't see at the moment, but I can show you a bit later, is the mountains of the part of the Lake District National Park. We're in the Howgills, in the Lake District, in the Yorkshire Dales National Park, and it's an absolutely stunning location. Behind us, the property is almost sort of split into two. We have a barn that was converted, a central section of living accommodation, and then the main house, which is at this point here, giving a huge and versatile accommodation. Should the right person want to merge everything together, there's all sorts of ways that you can do that. But equally, the best way to think on this is maybe you could split it out a little bit. This would be the most wonderful holiday home scenario possible, and in such a breathtaking position. What a fantastic standalone property. I'm going to turn around, show you a little bit of the street scene, give you a better idea of exactly how we're positioned and exactly what this property can do for you. I hope you like it. Okay, so let's have a look at this fantastic place. As I said, the property is called Top Withens, and it's quite spacious. There's a lot of it, and there's a lot to explain. But obviously, the part that's so amazing about here is those unparalleled views in pretty much every direction. So the lane that we're on has one other property further up it. So there's just two properties on this lovely lane, and everything that surrounds you is agricultural. So starting at the front of the property here, we've got plenty of parking spaces, and it's very pretty. If you do decide to come and view, the one thing that you'll take away quickly is that the externals of the property have been looked after to such a great extent. Even at the top of the barn area over here, there's a new roof, and the vendor took me up to be able to have a look, and there's a new steel that runs all the way across the whole length of that, which would have been some considerable expense, but has maybe given another 200 or 300 years to the property just to be able to make sure that there's no roof sag and there's no pressure on the walls and parts, which is excellent. We've got some nice chickens in here, and it's a pretty house. It's a really, really beautiful building. Now, I'm going to take you in here. The vendors don't own this, but they do have a new manhole in here, which about 5 years ago they had a new septic tank put in, so that's all going to be conforming to the new kind of regulations which are being brought out. And as I say, they don't own this field, but they do own this rather unusual little time capsule, which is a little outside loo. And I've never seen one. I don't know if you have. It's even got his and hers loos in it. So it's quite a historical piece, and something that there are not many of. But while we're here, I'm going to show you those fantastic fell views, literally in every direction. I mean, this film will pick up as much as we can do, but when you're stood here, you feel like you're on the top of the world. It's absolutely stunning. But far, far away over here in the distance, you can see the M6. You can't hear it at all, but you can see that it's there. So there are some signs of life. We aren't too far away. We're not too far away from the M6 and all the transport links that could be needed. So as a I don't know, consideration for a multiple holiday let or a second home, or even if you fancy just having a nice rural retreat. The current owners have lived here for some considerable period of time, so it's been an excellent family home for them. So here we go. Let's have a peek through into here. So there's two separate sides. There's the barn conversion, which is over here, which I'll show you momentarily. And as we come inside here, you've got this wonderful large open sitting room with all these fantastic exposed beams. There's a lot of character in this room, and the views out obviously over that lovely garden and over to the fells. We've got a nice bit of sandstone revealed fireplace here, and a wood burning stove. As you can imagine, this room would be as warm as toast when you get into the winter time. Coming into the next room, this has got a really high ceiling. So as we saw from outside, there's the larger, almost which looks like a more substantial two-storey part of the property, is housing this rather large kitchen come family room come dining room, which does then lead through into some other areas. Now, this is where the kitchen is, but as I kind of probably made mention in the last place, in the last room, that maybe would be a good area to be able to convert into a kitchen. This little hallway that leads through into a nice sunroom, which provides great space and a fantastic outlook over those open countryside views. And then we finish off, we're coming into this rather large utility room, which is got a nice vaulted ceiling in there, gives a real feeling of space. So coming back through the kitchen, I mean, obviously, as you can appreciate, we're walking through, and there are definitely some areas that would be considered for modernisation, but externally the building is in fantastic order. So this is purely just a case of having a change of decorative and kitchen and bathroom and this, that and the other, just to be able to make it maybe a little bit more current. So up here we've got 4 bedrooms, of which this is one of the first ones. And I'll just take you into these further 2 rooms. There's a bit of storage in here, but I thought it was important to be able to show you there's a bedroom. You don't really get much better views than that. In here we've got a plain white suite that comes with this family bathroom, and then the alternative view to the front, which is out over towards the Lake District National Park. Now today is slightly cloudier than it was when I came here to be able to look at it the first time, and on that basis all the fells they're still obviously there and nice and clear, but not quite as extenuated as they were when I first visited. It was absolutely breathtaking. I mean, it is still breathtaking today, but the views are a lot further out as the weather clears. So we have another large double bedroom, complete with beams and a great view out again over the fells. Now, I made a mistake in the video just a moment ago. It hasn't got 4 bedrooms on this floor. It actually has 5, because we're about to visit the 5th, which has a lovely ensuite. So we've got a nice big double room with plenty of storage. And as we pop that light on, come into here, we've got a nice plain ensuite. And then over this row, the colourful bed, we have got a window that looks out over the mountains. So to finish in this side of the house, and again, I'll correct myself, this part has 5 bedrooms, not 4, with an ensuite and a family bathroom. Obviously downstairs we've got a kitchen, but there's plenty of space in other rooms to be able to create a bigger kitchen should you want. There's an entrance door here, so this can be fully independent. Should you be looking to have this as more than one dwelling, maybe if you were looking at using this for a holiday let outfit or something like that. We've got a huge sitting room, complete with all of these Nice open beamwork. So let's have a look at the next part of the house. So as we come into here, we've got another dining room, loads of beams. It's a great space. We come into the kitchen, which is a nice kitchen diner. It's decent in size. Again, could probably benefit with some updating at some point, but everything in here is completely usable. And then we come into this other large sitting room. And it does really show this house is huge if you were to have everything together. And we've got a hatch here. Now, I'm not going to take you down there. However, when this was built, they actually built a subterranean study. So underneath here is a bit of a feature. There's a usable study space, which has all been tanked and everything else, which is quite lovely. We've got wood-burning stove, lots of exposed stonework, views out in each direction. And we'll go out into the garden after I finish the first floor, and I'll take you upstairs to have a look and show you what's what. So we've got this large double bedroom as we come into here. So there's obviously a dressing room area, but they've got that used as a study, and a nice large space for a big double bed. And then waking up again to those fantastic views. So coming on to the next bedroom. This is a really good double in space. I know they're using it as a study, but it's a really good usable area. And then the last bedroom, we have a single bedroom. But again, and I'll keep going on about it, but they are rather breathtaking. Fantastic views out. And then the last room to show you is the family bathroom, which is complete with a bath and shower, and then everything else that you could need. So, a lot of space, a lot of house. It may be even two houses if you wanted to. We're in that fantastic elevated position, as once said. And I'm going to take you outside just to show you the garden space and the garden areas. So we come out into the garden, and what a beautiful, beautiful space. It's a lovely, lovely area. And I'll just take you up the garden first. And as you can see, wherever you are with this property, you've got majestic views. Now, I've mentioned it before, but it's worth completely mentioning again. The condition externally of this property is excellent, from what I can see. And obviously, any purchase usually is subject to a survey. But the external parts have all been pointed. Recently, the roofs have been done. It's in fantastic order, and it looks in fantastic order. There's some mild renovation inside, just with regards personal taste and changing things so that they fit the style that you want. But the fact that you don't have to strip this entire property to pieces and start again is an absolute bonus. And in this incredibly rare location and rare position, that's a great thing. So it's just a case of working out what you would like it to be internally, and then making those alterations should you feel it's appropriate. As we walk along the garden just a little bit further, we've got obviously a couple of storage sheds, and I'll take you to the side here and show you just the last couple of parts. So coming back out to the front in the lane that goes up to the back of the property here, we've got a great workshop, which with a big house like this, no house is complete without a good workshop. But it's a really good space to tinker away. And then going back to the front, we've got a couple of little storage areas up here, and the same up the top here. So there we have it. What an amazing place. So we've got a lot of bedrooms. Obviously I miscounted at one point, but we do have a lot. We've got this fantastic building that could easily be two buildings should you require, if you wanted this as a holiday let sort of situation. It's in, well, one of the most beautiful elevated locations I've had for sale. And you're surrounded by mountains, and just over here, far in the distance is the M6, but it's still only 15 minutes drive away. So this property is coming to the market with a guide price of £750,000. It's a lot of property for that money in an area and position that hasn't been for sale for many, many years. If you're interested in taking a look, then please do give me a call on 01768 881111 and we'll be delighted to discuss this property with you. Thank you.